Hi, so how are you? How are you doing from the last time
I'm
I
good.
saw you?
I think the last time I spoke to you about my job, I was actually able to speak to my boss about, the problem, like how I'm overworked and,
Oh, that's good. So how did it go?
it's good. Like, well, first I made sure that he was in a good mood because I think that's very important that he's in a good mood. I sat with him. I kind of like, hey, you want coffee? So I did that, and then yeah, and then he just asked me like, oh, how you been? And then I said, I'm really overwork. He's like, in what sense? I said, well, a lot of things are, in my uh, in my things to do right now, and I feel like I'm only by myself. So I need extra hand to help me. And then he told me, well, he made me understand that the business is slow, we can hire somebody. But then to make it short, he was willing to kind of help me do some of the stuff, like some of the works, kind of like part of it. He's like, oh, I can do this, then you do this. So where he's delegating some stuff for me and some for him. So it's good. He's made it easier.
So talking to your boss really, it made you feel better?
It made me so much better. I feel it's a light burden. I feel lighter. I don't When I come to work in the morning, I mean, it's still like a little bit like, I mean, just like a normal employee. Like, you still feel like, oh my god, I'm going to work. But now it's like I don't feel much pressure because I know that.
So you feel better going to work now than
Yeah,
last time
I
that
feel
you
much
spoke?
better and I feel less pressure, which helps. And then now I learn to. Oh, and he told me also, like, oh, if you don't finish something today, then there's always tomorrow. So in a way, I see that he values me. So that's another thing that I'm happy talking to him about, because then I realized that he values me.
Okay.
Instead, I mean, it could have been bad,
Mhm.
but it turned out to be good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now you're not feeling as, because last time I think we spoke, you said you felt like he wasn't, or you felt like you weren't being appreciated for all the hard work that you're doing for the company. So
Right.
now you definitely feel
Yeah,
something different.
so much different. Like, I feel like less pressure again. Like, I feel I
And
don't
do you
need
feel
to.
like your boss is supporting you or
Yeah,
helping you?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I feel that he's willing to meet me halfway, which is very important. Like, doing some stuff, and and I don't need to finish everything before. I just, oh my gosh, what happened if I don't finish today? Then there's more work tomorrow. Now he told me, like, one at a time. I mean,
Well, that's
the truth of
good.
the matter is, you can't do everything all at once.
And I think the last time we spoke, I think you were so worried with what your boss was going to say or how he would react when you told him.
Yeah, or that I would lose my job.
Right.
Yeah, so turned
And
out
now
to
what do you,
be
yeah, and now what do you think about how everything turned out? Like,
good, very good, very good. And I been, I feel much better. Yeah.
and what about, I think we also talked about your anxiety. So how is it, how's your anxiety
Oh,
now compared to last time we spoke?
my anxiety now, I mean, my anxiety is always there. It could be job, it could be something else. Just when one thing is like tackled, like I tackled work already. I mean, I faced it. Like, I took care of it, right? Well, now I have another one too. Like, I feel like now I feel it's more about like my weight now. Like, because I work out every day. I work out every day because I used to be heavier, and I don't want to be there again. When I was very heavy, I was huge. Like, I feel like, oh my gosh. So now my anxiety comes from, like, what happened if I get heavy again? Like, if I become heavy again, what's gonna happen? So there's always new things that comes out. There's always. But now, with this one though, it's different from the work, because now it's like I can actually talk myself to this one. Like, I can actually tell myself that, oh, like, it's it can happen overnight. You're not gonna lose weight overnight.
Right.
Just slowly but surely. Because I'm also starting to talk to people at the gym who are very supportive to me. They're telling me that they're telling me that it's good actually that you're gradually losing the weight, because if you lose faster, then you'll gain it back. you'll gain it back fast too.
Right.
Because so what you're
And
doing.
plus, you want to do it the healthy way, right?
Right.
I remember you saying that you're making sure you lose weight the proper way.
Correct.
Instead of just like.
Yeah, because I don't want to do those those diet pills or those crush dieting. Like I don't want to do that. Like I want to do it like working out, eating right, not depriving myself with good food. Because I love to eat. So it's So right now that's like pretty much what makes my mind really busy. Like when I get home, like I feel like, oh my gosh, like I get kind of like thinking, oh my god, I'm gaining weight. Like I get really.
So you're always so you've always been like
overweight.
Yeah, not overweight, but like you're always worried about your weight, like you're.
Oh yeah, it's part of it too. It's because like growing up, because I've always been a big guy. Like ever since I was like, as far as I could remember, like 7 years old, 8 years old, like I was, I don't know, like I was big on because I was heavy, and plus like my brothers and my sisters are not helpful either, and my parents, they're forcing me, they're telling me like, oh, you need to lose weight, or you'll die early, or you will get sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I always been in that mindset that like, oh my gosh, like so how people embracing who they are, they embracing their their body. Mine, it's always been a battle, like, oh, I'm fat, I'm big, and so it's always it's like it goes way back.
And now you're like, so you're always, when you work out every day.
I work out every day for like years now. Like,
and how do you feel after you work out? Do you feel like you're still this big person that you've seen, that that you were in the past, or do you feel different?
Well, two things. Like one thing that really what I benefit from working out is that I'm losing weight, although it's slow, which that's what I'm anxious about, because I want to like get good result. But one thing that really I get from it is I feel much better, because it's like a way for me to relieve stress, like with work, and after work I go to the gym, so it helps, and it's like it's helpful as far as like my emotional and mental. It's just the only thing about it is I want faster result, but then again I don't want to go that road of crush dieting and doing all this like pills and everything.
And how is your family with
me losing weight?
Yeah, how do they feel about you, I guess, how you look now? Compared to like before?
I'm getting a lot of compliments, like from family, from friends. They're like, oh my god, you look good, you look great, and it feels really good. And honestly, that helps me keep going. Okay. The little things like
so
that.
So your family is supporting you. They're not acting the way they were before?
No. Okay, now they're actually like, oh, that's good. Although, it's funny because one time, like, I have a friend that, more like an acquaintance, not really a friend. And I saw her, I haven't seen her in a long time. And then she saw me before. Like, that's when the beginning, when I was losing weight. And then she saw me recently, and then she goes to me like, oh, wow, like, you maintained your weight. I thought that was just like a phase. I was like,
how did that make you feel with her saying that?
It made me kind of like go back to like the past when I was younger, when people are like picking on me, like nitpicking about everything. I was at first like, I was like, what the heck? Like, it brought me back to before. Then now I just like realize, I'm like, wow, what a hater. That's not a good person. Because instead of like believing in me, like, it shows to me that, wow, she was actually doubting me, like,
Right.
So those things, like, I don't want to be around that, because
so you don't want to be like around negative people?
Yeah, because weight has always been an issue to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's I'm very, very, like, I'm very harsh on myself, which is not helping with my anxiety, with
so do you feel like you're always like critiquing yourself, like
every
little thing that you do?
Yeah, I do. And honestly, it really kind of connects to like even the way I work. Like, I feel that like I always have to prove something. Like, that's.
Who who are you proving it to? Yourself or to
To
other
people, like I guess, because when I was younger, like when I was heavy, like people always pick on me, so I always want to look good. I want to this, like I always get like I always want to have people's like approval and things like that. So it goes to like my weight, it goes to like my work, like at work, like I always seek approval, from my boss, like make sure that I'm doing good, even though I'm so stressed already, but I don't want to disappoint him. But in the end, like I'm always the one losing, like I'm always the one.
Because do you feel like you're overworked?
The
Like do you feel like you're doing so much to prove to other people that
yeah, it's stressing me out. Because
But do you think it's worth it? Like stressing yourself out?
It's really not worth it, but then it's like I'm so used to doing it that it's like even though sometimes I'm not even realizing I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. And there are times that I can caught myself, like I caught myself like, what am I doing? Why at the end of the day, like what am I gonna get out of it? I'm the one who's gonna stress,
Right.
So it's becoming, I mean, like for instance, like with work, like eventually when I felt really stressful, like when I told you I was stressful, I was doing all this work and this, I'm not getting any help. Then one day I just realized I'm like, I have to talk to my boss. And then I ask you, because that again, part of me asking for people's approval, instead of me just doing it, I have to like get your like approval that should I talk to my boss about this?
Right.
And so sometimes
But why do you think you need that? Like why do you think you need a person or anyone's approval before you can act on something?
Because I don't know, I feel like that makes me feel important, accepted, and
Accepted by who?
accepted by people. Because it's back in it's hard because like it's really true what they said, like like as a child, like what you go through, like you really carry it with you, like as you grow up, like so many people are saying like, oh my gosh, you're a grown up now, you have control over what's right, what's wrong, or how to handle things. But it's easy to say than done unless you walk that shoes, because like me, like it's really like sometimes like it's still like the voice, everything is still so fresh, like how people were picking on me and how I always have to like work extra harder to feel belong in a group, because like like I mean, let's face it, like when you're a child, like you want to be in the in thing.
Right.
And me, I tried that, but because of my weight and because of my insecurities, it's
So you feel like because of you with your weight and feeling insecure, so you feel like you have to work extra hard just to feel accepted
Right.
by other people.
Exactly, and it goes with every day. Like it's even now. I mean, now it's a little bit better because I caught myself. Like I caught myself doing it, and I just like.
So what happens when you catch yourself? What do you do?
I just like kind of like I take like a step back, and then I think about like it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
What's not worth it? Like to
stressing it, and
to stress yourself
yeah.
out?
And at the end of the day, after you get people's approval, what's next? I mean, how like what satisfaction can you really get from it?
So what are you doing anything to not act this way? Like not work so hard to impress other people? Are you doing anything to like I guess just make yourself feel happy about yourself? What are you
Now what I'm doing
with that?
is I focus more on what I can do, because there are things I can't change. I can't change what people say, what people think, or what how people will accept me. So I just focus on what I can do on my part, like with weight. I focus on what I can do to lose weight, so I go to the gym. And like with my boss, like I can't change what I can't change him. I mean, he's the boss, like he has to delegate your now I just focus on what I can do, meaning I can do the best I can. And if
you can't do the best, then
yeah,
it's okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And it's I mean, I cannot be too harsh on myself, so I always tell myself, like now I'm still not fully there, but I'm learning to just take a step back and realize that at the end of the day, first it's just work, and second, okay, wait, you know what I mean? I mean, what's the look really? You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it sounds cliche, but like I mean, it's more like the inside than the outside. You know, so
Mhm.
I'm learning. I'm getting there. You know, and then it's good. It's helping me that I can talk to, like I'm talking to you right now. Like it helps me.
Was it always hard for you to talk to people about
Yeah, because sometimes
this?
people, I mean, sometimes people can be very judgmental.
Hmm.
And then sometimes, like, you know, for instance, like a friend, the friend that I was mentioning you about, like, I thought, oh, I have her support about me losing weight, going to the gym. But then just that comment kind of like, like, you know, like, kind of like shocked me. Like, oh, you're going to tell me that, like, oh, you maintained your, I thought it was just like a face thing. Like, okay, Eli is going to the gym.
Hmm.
But I bet you, like in 6 months, like he's gonna bench again and he's gonna gain the weight.
Hmm.
You know that little thing. It's like, you know what I'm trying to say. It's
Not really, but what? Let me know
well, what I'm trying to say
what you're
is
trying to
that
say.
what I'm trying to say is like I just focus on what I can do. Like, you know, what I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, I mean, yeah, like what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained now because I guess
It's
I'm so
okay.
into this. But what I'm trying to say about my friend is that like it helps having someone to vent it out, like what I'm doing to you.
Hmm.
But at the same time, also like it it helps, but sometimes it kind of like be like a pushback, like you know, it's kind of setback too. Because when you thought somebody is a friend, you're venting out, like a
Hmm.
friend that friend, you know, it kind of like set you back. Like
Right.
wow, you know. So just like I guess in life, you know, there's good and bad, and there's you can always, you know, again, I just focus on what I can do. I can what I can do is not to share my personal to that person anymore,
Hmm.
and just focus on who really want to listen and who is willing to help and who is willing to lift me up instead of like
So you're saying you just want like the people that you want in your life right now. You just want
something
just positive.
positive. Correct, yeah, positive, and somebody who is like you know, sharing the same passion and values, and you know, because I mean pretty much to me that's the essence of life. It's like, you know, being surrounded with the right people, you know,
Hmm.
because if not, like I mean it's the people, like you know what they say, like the saying goes, like tell me who your friends are, I will tell you who you are.
Hmm.
If you associate yourself with the bad people, then you're pretty much one of them, you know. So that's what I'm pretty much just doing, especially with, you know, with my anxiety and my, you know, I mean I don't want to, you know, because every little thing sometimes like it triggers it, like, you
Hmm.
know, even
What
like
other things trigger your anxiety
um
besides, I guess,
the weight work and
work and your weight issue?
also like getting sick, like, you know, like
Hmm.
I always worry and I get anxious when I'm sick. Like I feel alone. Like I feel like helpless because that's my greatest fear is to one day be helpless and have to depend on other people.
Hmm.
So when I'm sick, like I I I go there right away. Like I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm sick now. Like what happened if I cannot go to work anymore? Or it's just so many thoughts.
Hmm.
Because that's one thing about anxiety and panic, like my panic attacks. Like it's just like all like hundreds of thoughts are just like flooding my brain, and I just like, oh my gosh. So those things like being sick, work, and getting overwhelmed, like weight, like just a bunch of stuff,
Hmm.
a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I'm trying to, it's tough, you know. Again, it's like day after day, like day by day, hour by hour, like, you know, that's I just deal it little by little, you know. I mean, I can't do everything. Nothing really, nothing change like like right away, you know what I mean? So I'm just giving myself a little bit, like, you know, slow down, take it easy. Yeah.
Just so your anxiety doesn't like come
Mm-hmm.
out or.
Yeah, because it's really bad. Like when my anxiety is like full blown,
Hmm.
and
What
I
happens when?
oh my gosh, like I start pacing. Like if I'm having a panic attack in front of you right now, you're probably gonna be like, you're probably gonna grab me, like, and you're probably gonna be like, sit still. Like I seriously like get like really like jittery. That's the
Hmm.
word. And I pace around.
Hmm.
I feel like there are times. One time I feel like I'm getting a heart attack.
Hmm.
Like oh my gosh, I'm getting a heart attack. I'm gonna die. Like, you know, and I'm gasping for air. It's I don't wish it to anyone.
Well, so what do you do when those things happen? Like,
I
how do you
I try. Well, first thing I do
how do you
is
calm yourself down, or can you calm yourself
Mhm.
down?
Well, I don't resort to medicine. I mean, I have a medicine for it that my doctor gave me, but I don't resort to that. The first thing I do is I pray.
Hmm.
I pray. I just like close my eyes. I'm like, I guess there's a verse that I say, like, be still that I'm God. So it helps me come down. And then what I do is I start talking to myself, like not verbally, but my head,
Okay.
mentally, yeah, in
Hmm.
my head. Like I just like, this, it's not gonna, like, not, everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay. I take a deep breath. I do the 10 count, like 10 seconds, like deep breath and then 10 seconds and then exhale. It helps also. And I mean, actually, a couple of days ago I had like a panic attack and then
And
it
what caused your
hurt.
panic attack?
I don't what caused it. Oh, I was getting a headache. Like I told you, if I'm sick, like like I was getting a headache, and then I started thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this normal? Like, is this a migraine or is this like a stroke? Is this?
So from the headache, you started thinking
Yeah.
like all these types of
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
sicknesses that you
Right.
might have.
So what I did is like I prayed and then
Mhm.
I just started like the breathing exercise, and then I started telling myself like it's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay. Relax. Like so, I talk to myself like
Mhm.
just mentally talking to myself, and then eventually it works for some reason. Yeah, and thank God. Like the last time I actually took my medicine for anxiety is probably like what 6 months ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
so because I don't want to resort to the medicine because I feel like I don't want to be dependent on it.
Right.
And then but if we're like worst comes to worst, like when it gets really bad, like I feel like I can't control it,
Mhm.
which was maybe months ago, and then I take the pill and it's good. It's like 20 minutes, it works right away. But yeah.
How long? I mean, when did you have like anxiety? Like, what triggered your anxiety?
When did it start?
Yeah, when did it start?
Um, it started actually when I started living by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like I remember it started when I first lived by myself, and I remember getting sick, and that's when I started like feeling all alone and helpless and everything. Like,
Well, what do you feel like you're alone and helpless?
like what happened if I get sick and I just like fall? Like it's weird. Like I know it's probably rational or whatever it's called, like whatever you call it. But what happened if I'm by myself and then I just like fall down and then like you know have a stroke or heart attack and then die and then no one knows, like I'm telling you, like the thought is just, it's like hundreds of thoughts like running to my head. And I remember having an attack in front of my family, and then I remember my brother and my sister were like, oh my gosh, like calm down, calm down, you know what, it's all in your head, it's all in your head. But honestly, unless you've been there,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot control it because there's just thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. It's like it's getting tangled, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like
And you feel like you don't know what to.
yeah, that's why you pace around because you're just, it's like your way to deal with it. You know what I mean? So it's just it's tough, and then yeah, that's when it started.
How does your family feel about you and with your anxiety? Like,
Well, actually, you know what? Like, they're actually understanding about it because my brother-in-law is a therapist.
okay.
So my brother-in-law actually made them realize like what it is,
Mhm.
and my brother-in-law kind of like told them like, it's not like, not that Eli is not healthy. It's not like he's sick. It's just more like it's an imbalance. I mean, that's what it is. It's just like he's healthy, he's fine, but it's just that there's a chemical imbalance, and then when that happens, you kind of just like be there for him, but don't say a lot of things, because then like when you say too much things, then he internalize it, like he reads through it, like he analyzes it, he dissects it. So you're not really helping
Is
because
that what you do? Do you think that's what you do?
yeah, I do. When you start, like, if I'm having anxiety and then somebody is like talking and talking and talking, like, I just like, oh my gosh. So imagine like put yourself in my situation. If you already have thousands of thoughts and hundreds of thoughts in your head, and then somebody is like having this la 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 la. So it's like it's like just like sound like that. You get aggravated, you get like sensitive, you get like all like you just want to like you go crazy. You tell them like shut up and this, and you get cranky, like you get like pissy, and yeah, it's just but now it's not so like now I can actually, like I told you, I talk to myself and then I take a deep breath. Like I can control it when I can control it. Like it's not as bad anymore.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good to hear that
Hmm.
you're able to control it first before
Right.
you use the medicine.
And then now I'm facing like whatever bothers me, like I confront it, like
Mhm.
just whatever the issue is, like I focus on what I can do.
Mhm.
Like like it goes back to like if I'm having an attack, like I know what I can do, which is to take a deep breath, talk to myself, pray, and all that stuff. So it's just pretty much that, like focus on it. The main thing is like I want to be around people that are positive and they're they're good people, like harmless, and like somebody who is kind, like it's just like calming, relaxing, instead of like somebody who always like have something bad to say. Like it's just, yeah, I want to stay positive and focused. Like I want to draw my strength from that. Yeah, but that's good.
I mean, it sounds like you it sounds like you have more control than
Hmm.
than when we spoke the last time.
I do.
Because I think last time you were so worried about, what your boss is going to say, then
Hmm.
you're so worried about you not having a job.
Hmm.
Then now it seems like, you were able to confront your boss,
Hmm.
and it seems like everything is working out
Right.
in the work part.
I realized, like if I didn't tell my boss, he wouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, and then you were right the last time, like just talk to my boss, and it did it could be, it could go bad or it could go right, and it went well. So now less pressure. I mean, the work is still there, but at least now I know, like you know take it easy. What you can do, what you can do your best, do what you can do, and then if at the end of the day it's not finished, then there's the next day. And if you don't finish the next day, there's another day. And then if at the end of the day it's just really a job, I mean, it's it's not worth like harming yourself. Health is wealth, like they say. You know what I mean? It's important to have your sanity. It's important to have your health. It's important to just to, yeah, because the job is job. It's gonna be there.
right.
So it's good. So it helps. It's working.
That's good.
Yeah.
So everything is working.
Right. And I'm looking forward for the holidays. See my family, and just to see everyone. And then we actually have like a week off for the
Okay.
holidays. I need that because then it's kind of like it's like I'm recharging.
Mm-hmm.
The work and no work. No work, so I can relax at home and just enjoy the holidays.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good to hear that you seem a little, better.
I'm less like last time. I was like I'm still all over the place because I guess this is me. I'm always all over the place because there's hundreds of thoughts in my head. But now I'm
Are you
actually
having hundreds of thoughts right now?
well, when I get really excited, like there's a lot of thoughts. Well, you could tell when I have a lot of thoughts because I'm all over the place. Like I don't know if you noticed that earlier. Like when I wanted to say things, like I don't know where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like lose track of my train of thoughts, or But yeah, like right now I just like I'm still hyper. I'm still but as far as like even though my mind is busy, it's not like busy that a bad busy, like it's causing me to be overwhelmed or stressed or to be anxious or panicky. It's more like it gets excitement because I'm letting it out,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm letting it all out and letting it go, so it's
And
good.
how do you feel like letting it go?
Oh, it really it helps a lot. It helps a lot, like because it's like a weight off your shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a weight off my shoulder. Like I am like just it's you know it's out there, and then it's like I don't want that anymore. So it's like a garbage. You're getting rid of it, and you don't want to take it back.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's good. It's like really helping.
That's good. So do you think you'll, I guess, let your feelings out more
Hmm.
too, or just, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
like do you think it helps? So like you said, it does help, right?
it does help, and
Okay.
I like it actually. And I'm happy that I have friends that I can do that to. I can do that with, that I could just share and let it out, and then they could. It's like vice versa. It's you could you're not gonna be judged. You
Right.
know, they're gonna listen, and you know that they will mean well. Whatever they tell you, it's from because they care. So it's good. It's helpful. It's great. It's great.
Well, I'm glad. It sounds like you're just letting positive energy into your life, and it seems like it's working out for you.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that you're starting to show your or talk about your feelings more to people that you trust.
Hmm.
And it seems like it's really working for you.
Right.
So I'm glad that
Yeah.
everything is working out.
Thank you, and thanks for listening to me.
No problem.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's on your mind, or?
Right now, like I'm just really excited. Like the holidays, and I love December. It's like the spirit of the holidays is. I'm starting to feel it.
Mhm.
The warmth of the season. It's. So right now, like it's helping too. It's like something to look forward to, and that you will be with family. You will have like reunions with friends, and
Mhm.
yeah. So that's pretty much that. So like right now, like I'm in a good place. I'm happy.
You seem happy.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, you seem a lot better.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is there anything else you like to talk about? Or,
No, nothing else really. Nothing. It's good.
okay, so I'm glad to see you again.
And thanks for listening to me. Now
Okay,
I know I can come to you,
okay,
and you'll be a great listener and a great advisor.
thank you.